My name is Donna Vacchiano. I had my youngest son, Daniel, who got addicted to opioids about 5 years ago. He was in a elevator accident where he hurt his back, and he was put on Vicodin and oxycodone. Let's try that again. Oxycodone, and they kept him on it for about 2 years, and he became addicted, but didn't acknowledge that he was addicted. And then he, reached out for help, and we sent him to a rehab. And it was a roller coaster ride from there on of battling the addiction for 5 years before it took his life. He loved his wife and children and his niece and nephew. He loved us all, and he fought hard, and we fought hard to save him. Daniel passed away on 10/4/2021. He had just returned from a 30-day rehab where he had battled for 5 years. He fought hard to win this battle. He wanted it more than I believe his family did. He wanted it so badly to be clean again. And so he had just returned again from a 30-day rehab. And the day he came home, he died that night. He was in rehab 4 times. He stayed 60 days one time, and he was clean for 11 months. Jobs, he lost his job when the last time he had to go in for rehab. He would get fired every time he would, have to go into rehab. People that were his friends since the elementary school no longer wanted to be around him because they didn't trust him, and they were ashamed of him. Just trying to hide the fact that he was an addict, because he didn't want people to know he was an addict because he had 2 small children. And then the people that found out that he was an addict wouldn't let their children come and play with his children anymore. It was almost like it was his fault. And that's what stigma, I think, is the hardest of all. It's not the addict's fault. It's not their choice to become an addict. They may have made a choice to take a pill or take a drug. They didn't choose to become an addict. Or if it wasn't the addict's fault, it was the parent's fault. They raised them wrong. If they would have been a better parent, they would have had a better outcome with their child. And that too is not true. Daniel was loved, and he was given a good life, and he knew he was loved. So it's not parenting either. It numbed him to what people were saying. He went to a doctor one time, his doctor of many, many years, and the nurses were talking about, went home to their homes and were talking about it to their family, about him being an addict. And so it was like, even when he'd go seek medical help, the doctors and the staff would talk about the addict when they left. And that was just so hard for him to accept, that he just felt like he had to be numb from it because it hurt. It hurt so bad. The stigma of being secluded and away from your friends and away from the church and away from even going to the doctor's office without being talked about. He just wanted to stay in the house and do absolutely drugs. The one thing that I want the community, the state, everyone to know is, regardless of why that child or person is an addict, they didn't choose to be an addict, and they need help. And it takes all of us to help them. It takes the community, it takes the state, it takes people that own businesses to step up and give that person who has failed an opportunity to regain themselves again and to be proud of themselves again. And not be ashamed of it because there's someone in it, and people to stop talking about them and shunning the families, because that makes the families hide the secret, and you can't fix it if you're hiding it.